Hey, alright everybody, how's it going? Now, I got the Smmt data figures in for February 2025. Now, every time I make one of these videos, the people who dislike EVs do come into the comment section usually, and they'll try and shift the goalposts around and try and tell me that it isn't so, it isn't the way it is. And some people will even go as far as to say they're lying about the data, they're making the figures up. It's just, it is balmy, it's absolutely balmy. Remember folks, right, anti-EV people say that electric cars are too fast, but they're also milk floats. Electric cars are too expensive, but they're also too cheap because they depreciate too much. They also say electric cars are too quiet and they run you over, but they're also too noisy if you build a charging station near some houses. So you can see the mentality we're dealing with. It's a goalpost shift, and it's always contradicting themselves on the things they say. It's a load of old ghoulies. But anyway, let's get to the data now. If I use the term sales and I say EV sales, some people get annoyed. You know who you are, you anti-EV lot. So I will just say registrations, even though all these registrations end up on the road that you can see with your own eyeballs. You can see them, they're everywhere. If you can't see loads of EVs where you live, then you must be living in the North Pole. Right, so February 2025, new car registrations overall were down 1%. So why were they down 1%? Well, for the simple reason is petrol sales are down again, and diesel sales are down again. Now, let's get to the BEV, and we'll talk about BEVs. Now, February is typically not a massive month for sales because everybody's waiting for March to get the new shiny registration. But now Smmt data has changed the layout of the website, so I don't like it particularly. It does look a bit more fancy and newer, but it's a little bit harder to see when I'm looking from you to the tablet. But BEV sales were up for February 2025 compared to February 2024. So I should say BEV registrations 21,244, and that was an increase from last year of 41.7%. Very, very nice. FEV sales are up and HEV sales are up. Not as much as BEV sales, but they're up. Now, let's get to the petrol. I've talked about this many times. We're going to see petrol start to disappear. It's already happening. Petrol sales were down 17.3% compared to February last year. Diesel sales, which are almost extinct. Diesel is becoming like the dodo. It's almost extinct, and it will be like the dodo eventually. People will tell me differently. They'll say diesel will be around. What they'll do, they'll move the goalposts and they'll say, what about lorries? What about vans? I'm talking about cars. I'm talking about cars by here. So if I was talking about vans and lorries, it'd be a different story. But I'm talking about cars. Don't shift the goalposts. Right, so diesel sales were down 15.1%. So they've only sold 4,241 diesels for February 2025. So when these people talk about, they say, a slump in EV sales, even though they're up every month, where is the mainstream media and all the articles saying that diesel is almost non-existent? Where are they? Where are the articles? Where's the push on this then? That diesels are non-existent. It doesn't exist, does it? Because nobody's paying any of the mainstream media articles to write stories about diesels are bad, and they don't get as many clicks either. So there we go. So petrol was down 17.3%. Diesel was down 15.1%. HEVs, BEVs and FEVs are all up, but BEVs are the biggest, up at 41.7%. So if I look down a little bit further, I think I can see we got 2 months of market share. So BEVs, actually let's go down a little bit further again. Year to date market share so far, and BEVs have a market share of 22.8% already, and we're only 2 months in of sales. PHEVs have 8.9% market share. PHEVs have 13.4% market share. Petrol have 49.2% market share, and that's down 16.1% for the year so far. Diesel has 5.8% of the market share, and they're down 10.3%. And the total of cars is down 1.9%. So the growth is coming from BEVs, HEVs and PHEVs. Now, diesel was at one point something like 54% of the market share. 54% of the market share, and that was something like 10 years ago. And now it's down to 5.8. That's huge. It's a massive slide. So I think we're going to see the end of diesel a lot sooner than the end of petrol, because our manufacturers going to keep, well, not a lot of them have sort of discontinued selling diesel cars. So another thing that I was surprised about, and I'm very, very surprised about this, I am super surprised. If I look down, let me try and find it. I'm going to look at vehicle sales by brand, and I was shocked to the core, I tell you. Here we go, February by brand. Now, I was expecting Tesla sales to be pretty bad. I was expecting them to be, not the best. But February market share for Tesla by here says that they sold 3,000, registrations I should say, even though Tesla's not fudging they're not doing pre-registrations, because they don't need to, because all they sell is electric cars. Tesla sold 3,852 cars in February 2025, and they're actually up 20.68%. Now I was expecting that to be down again. Now, like I said, Tesla batches come in weirdly. They don't all come in like the same, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But I was quite surprised. I was expecting the Elon Musk effect to make that number a lot smaller. So I wonder what they'll be like next month as well, or for the full year, because Tesla stock at the moment is dropping like a stone. Will that reverse around if Elon Musk keeps his mouth shut? I don't know. Would Tesla sell less cars if Elon Musk left, or would they sell more? Put it in the comment section. Because I like Tesla. I do like Tesla cars. I think they're great cars. But Elon Musk is just... he's lost the plot, hasn't he? So, anything else to note by here? BYD. Now, BYD don't just sell BEVs, they sell PHEVs as well. So I don't know how to break that number down, but BYD did sell or register 1,177 cars in February, and that is a increase of 334%. 334%. So that's quite a lot. So you can see that BYD, the market is shifting. I think BYD is now the third best-selling car manufacturer, which is mental. That's just, look how far they've come. They're the third. I'm sure they're the third biggest global manufacturer in the world. I know a lot of the sales are in China, but nevertheless, that is a massive turnaround, isn't it? And I can see a lot more BYDs being sold in the UK. I can see a lot more Chinese cars being sold in the UK. I can see the whole thing is changing. It's all switching around, isn't it? Because a lot of these Chinese cars, they're just... they're ahead of everybody now. They're ahead. They were always behind. Now they're ahead. I think they're well ahead on battery tech. Everything, they're ahead. I think I was watching a video just now from the electric Viking was talking about, I can't remember the car, nice looking car, very fast, faster than a Tesla Plaid, a Tesla Model S Plaid is fast as 0 to 60 in that, and I think it's faster top end as well. And it does look like a nice car, and too expensive for me, way out of my price range, but for what the car is, it's extremely affordable. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense? For what the car is cheap compared to other fast combustion cars. An electric Viking was talking about, he said he doesn't think that these bans on racetracks are to do with fires, because there's never been any battery fires on these racetracks. They're banning them because combustion cars cannot compete with electric vehicles. That's what it's all about. If you can't beat them, you don't join them, you ban them. So there we go. So is there anything else by here now? I did see another name pop up by here that I haven't seen. I'm seeing a lot of names pop up in the old car section here, like Jayco. I don't know how to say that. Inuus, is it Inuus? There was one last week called a Moda. They do electric cars. I don't know which one's electric or not anymore, because these cars are all popping up everywhere and I haven't seen them before. A Moda, they sold 519 cars. I think they do one PHEV, is it? Or one petrol car maybe, and one electric car. So I don't know. Polestar, they sold 515 cars and they're up 98.8%. So there we go. BEVs are up for another month. Petrol sales are down. Diesel sales are abysmal. And that's just the way it is. Oh, sorry, it's not sales, it's registrations. Just to keep the anti-EV people happy. So there we go. They'll have something to say. They'll have a goalpole shift. You'll probably have, what's his name? What's that guy people keep saying? I can't remember his name now. Barry Crompton. Somebody will say, go and watch Barry Crompton's video. He's been in the business for 50 years. God, he must have been 1 year old when he was started out in the old car trade. 50 years in the business. Well, anyway, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.